Shop smart, shop S-smart.
Lady, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store.
Who the hell are you?
Name's Ash.
This is my boomstick!
Oh, hi. Welcome to Deadites in Aisle 3. We're back after I don't know how long of a break we took. If you're listening only to the audio side of this, not much of a break at all. If you're watching on YouTube, pretty long break. But we're back. And I have Matt, Zombie Dog. I have the title, Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, Dykes.
Huh? Wait, what are we done with Bruce Campbell?
I told you last week. I was done with. I remembered that much from the last recording, even though it was forever ago.
You forgot his famous role, Lord of the Rings, The Return.
Don't forget, we also have Joel, the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade DeWitt.
I think you mixed ours up here a little bit.
I know what he's doing.
Matt,
I know what he's doing. Third films in the series.
There it is.
Because it's season 3.
Yeah, we all figured it out. We also have
and is it Ryan Die Hard with a Vengeance Luton?
No, it would have been, but it's Army of Darkness Lutons.
All right.
Yeah, I figured he'd still be okay with it. Yeah, I got really tired of digging through the IMDb of Bruce Campbell and doing that, and I decided to go for the third parts because it just was easier. And
you don't have anything pulled up, do you? This is all off the top of your head.
No, I have famous third movies tab open. Thank you very much.
Now make sure to mark off which ones you've already used.
I was going to say, next episode we're going to have the same films, just in a different order.
Next episode, maybe not. 2 episodes from now, strong possibility. We'll see. I'm back. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back in the world of Evil Dead. I know we mentioned this last time we took a bit of a break in this thing. Was a bit of a chore to come back. This show is not very conducive to breaks, as we have discussed many times, as most of us fell off because of breaks. But I think season 3 is starting off pretty strong. I know Joel's not feeling the same way. Just tell by his face and the fact that he told us.
It's fine. It's fine, Brian.
Why are there flames in the back, Joel?
Because I'm burning in hell right now.
I don't know. Like, I do have this feeling, and we're going to kind of get into it today. This was a 1-season show. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Like, season 2 got way better at the end, as we discussed, but like, I don't think they had enough to keep going. I don't know. Anyone else feel sort of similar?
I swear to Christ, if we go back to the cabin any more times, I'm going to find
there was no cabin.
Bruce Campbell's house and burn down his cabin.
There was no cabin, though. It was just the burnt down mess of a cabin.
Oh, fuck off, Ryan.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I'm like, as soon as we need to go back. I'm like,
this is what I'm going to say to your argument, Brian. I think that you're right. I know you like.
That's a great argument back. I love
it. I think season 2 could have been condensed and still kept the lore that would have carried on into season 3. But if you would have done a 15 episode limited series, it would have been fine and condensed a lot of the things.
And I'm okay with like pretty much everything still happening in said 15 episode like miniseries. Like, I think Ruby's a really cool character. Having the character who wrote the book, and like, I'm into all of this. I'm super not into the behold your long lost child. Like, I'm so not into that plot line in anything, let alone Ash vs. Evil Dead.
I hate it in most things. It's like, how does the person not know about it? But honestly, this is the one thing that I actually think it kind of works just because of the character of Ash. Of course, he's going to forget that he got married. Of course, he's going to forget all of that shit because he forgets fucking everything. But it's a stupid, dumb trope. It is, but
they're in the same town. If it'd been some town that he went to and never came back to, maybe. But this is his hometown. Like, I just don't.
I honestly,
he did though because he fucked up after because he.
His dad didn't. There's people now. It doesn't work for me.
I think she came back. to
Okay.
see. But no, that doesn't make sense because she goes to school there. Never mind. Argument.
No, wait. You're
No,
right. Because she
No,
mentions...
because she goes to school at the.
Yeah, no, she does. But, like, I think they either went to high school together or something like that or something, but then met outside of the town because he mentioned something about Bronson or something. Like Bronson, Missouri. And it kind of, like, got the idea that it wasn't there, that, like, it wasn't in the town that they got married. Looked like
not
Vegas.
Telling me like this is like it's not.
No, I know. It just
It's cheap.
it's a
cheap.
It's cheap. Yep.
It's cheap. I'm sorry. It is a cheap way for them to try to build some groundedness back into the show that has long left that behind. And the problem is that they have used cheap hooks for storytelling before, but it's usually a one and done, right? It's a one episode thing. They throw it back away when that person related dies and they move on. I don't. The show can end now. The show can end now. And it's not that there's anything really wrong with these episodes. It's just going back to this whole one season thing. Give me one season with 24 half-hour episodes.
Yeah.
One broad story arc. It can start with that creepy shimmer monster, evolve to Ruby. Don't make Ruby a friend. Don't bother.
Yeah.
I don't want it. Lucy Lawless doesn't want it.
Her hair doesn't want it.
Nobody's having fun here. And I think that's the other part too. Nobody looks like they're having fun while playing these characters.
Bruce Campbell a little bit like when he gets to do like the classic Ash stuff, you can tell he's still having fun, but like I agree with you, Joel. I think the whole thing just feels a little tired. And then the daughter coming in, we're going to start getting the episode here in a second, but the daughter is way too grounded for the show.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't mix, like, cause she's being a real person in Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is very known for not being real at all. Her response is like, holy shit, my family died. I'm upset about this, where we're used to my family died. Let's fucking go. Like, and we're not getting that.
You're taking a character from a movie.
Yeah.
You know, early on in the movie, normal person, and that's a short window that's accelerated into madness. But now you're plunging her into a ongoing series with a lot of story pent up from prior. And it just feels like another stall, just kind of like the going to his hometown stuff felt like a stall to me.
Yeah, it was going to be a cool idea.
They don't know where to go with this. And the problem is that it's evident in all the true story beats and how they try to escalate it. Oh, it's the book again. Oh, there's something she's trying to summon. Oh, here's more baby. You know, No, I'm good.
Yeah. No, I'm not fully where you're at, Joel, but I'm definitely on that road.
I kind of feel like that this would have been quite it would have worked as like this sort of series. I think it would have been way better if it was like a trilogy of films.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, you know, so basically you do it low budget, but you sort of like you have all three at once. You shoot them all at the same time, and then you just kind of like release them like once every 6 months or something. And it's like it is this kind of like it's a trilogy of films,
like Netflix did with Fear Street, like that sort of thing.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, well they did exactly that.
Because I think if you look at the first
TV
season,
movies, that's the only thing you got to keep in mind.
Yeah, but you could still you could still keep that kind of like the sort of like the goriness of that. Put it on something like Netflix or something,
or even Stars.
Where Stars. Yeah. But like because if you look at the first season, there is kind of like a beginning, middle, and an end, and they could be kind of like separate parts in a trilogy.
Yep. I don't. I feel like we're doing a lot of work for them when, like, clearly the
writers aren't.
Yeah, and like I'm not even saying the clearly the writers aren't. Like the order wasn't that. Like they got a season 2, and then they had a huge break. Was this COVID break or was this something else? I'm not.
Before COVID, I think.
So this is way before.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
But there's a very big break here, and then season 3 came out. And they have a showrunner, they have new everything, and it didn't feel like they had a plan to really get it going. The way we get back into this season, kind of getting the episode, is someone found the book in the mud. And like that's it. Like they walk in, like, "Hey, I found this book. Is it worth any money?" And it's like, "I guess we're doing this again." And like that,
which is an after end credits like scene at the end of season 2. Which
so that's why I didn't recognize it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Also, I'm good with never seeing after credits scenes ever again.
Yeah,
If it's that important, just include it at the end.
I am so okay with after credit scenes being there to be like a treat for you. Watch the credits. Here's something entertaining. All
Sure.
for it. Please do it. That's great. Sinners did that really good. If you stayed all the way through the end of Sinners, you get an extra song. Like, doesn't have anything major to do with the plot, but it's a song and it's great. I'm all for it. That's awesome. But I'm sorry I didn't watch the end of season 2 credits, so I didn't get to see someone find the book in the mud. And I'm just like, even if I had, it's just, as Joel said earlier, it's cheap. Like, it just like, oh, so we're just going to keep doing this. And like, there's no good through, like when we get to when we finish season 3 and we get to Evil Dead Rise, that one has like a good, like, is this the book or is it a book? And like, they don't go too much into it, but it's like, they kind of validate more. I'm like, okay, we could have gone that route, but then we would have lost Ruby and then everyone would have been upset. And it's like, okay, well then I guess that's not what we can do. so we're just going to do it again.
Though? Because like,
I like Lucy Lawless.
Yeah, I like Lucy Lawless as well, but
I mean,
there's something not right. Like, there's something not working this season with her as well. Like, I don't know what it is.
They're done with her character. They finished her arc, and now it's just
so bored.
Yeah.
In the first season, you felt like there was background and history to what she was doing, and this almost feels like an Endgame when new Thanos shows up and he has no context as to what's happening, and he's just like, I've heard about you guys.
Yeah.
Now you die.
No, I totally agree. Like this whole, like, the only reason she hates Ash is because she wrote about Ash. Like, she doesn't have that connection with him. Mm-hmm. And like, they try to still have it. Getting ahead of myself, I think it's technically next week's episode, but like when they see each other in the church, like they try to make it work, but like it feels like they haven't looked at their own notes. Like, wait, do we know each other? Kinda. Let's chest bump at each other and get out of this scene.
Well, they kind of like, I guess they're going on the logic that blonde Ruby has the memories of when they went back in time.
Okay.
No.
Just
no. Okay. You know what? Let's watch the trailer. We're gonna get
out of the doom spiral.
Yeah, we're gonna get out of that. We're gonna watch a trailer really quick, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Here we go. Here's a trailer. Everyone excited for a trailer? Everyone's excited for a trailer. Season 3 trailer. Here we go.
I mean, I skipped it at the beginning, so
there you go.
For 30 long years, I've used this saw on monsters and demons. But those battles are won. Now
what
I
we're
use
betting
it
that
to-
these captions are going to be totally wrong at some point.
So far, they're not that bad.
Give it a
Son of a
minute.
bitch.
Whoa, lady.
You don't even remember me?
One of your monsters was to attack our daughter.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me in the trailer either.
Oh.
Yeah.
Looks like evil's back.
This is all gonna be
That was a creepy moment.
yeah, and the girls in the school.
Suck on that, Harpo.
It was a decent
That's
sequence.
my daughter, Sandy. Mandy.
Brandy.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
We're still getting to know each other.
Speed back.
yeah. They continue using music really well.
Hey, Brandy, what
Yeah,
happened
this.
to your precious little girl?
Yeah, the sequence in the sperm bank with "Take on Me,"
Believe I sure did.
Yeah.
fucking brilliant.
How's
I
that?
love
All
that.
that crazy sex could lead to a kid.
Is that episode 3 or 2?
2.
Who 3?
Oh, what's 3?
See, that's part of the problem. I don't even remember where we're at.
Kelly, I
Everything's
said
bleeding
thanks for
together.
her body.
I've never been so proud.
You guys hear of perpetual stew?
It all comes down to this moment.
What is that?
I'll wait till after the trailer.
Come get some.
What is that subtitle?
I don't know. I was just
Guys, the AI is speaking to us, and it's
Apparently.
it's decoding. It's decoding music notes,
Fair enough.
so.
or it's
the
just
type-
activated a spy somewhere.
I mean, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to start with some things that I actually enjoy in this episode because the trailer did remind me. I like the intro. I like the whole I used to use it to cut up evil. Now I'm using it to slash prices like that.
Sure.
That advert is fucking brilliant. It's so good.
And it's sex emporium too.
And sex toy emporium.
Yeah. Hardware and sex toys.
Ladies, if you're unsatisfied, aisle 7.
Yeah. No, it was men. If you can't satisfy your women, you need aisle 7.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that. Like, it felt like a very that's the stuff where I feel like Bruce Campbell's still having fun. And watching this trailer, it kind of reminded when we get to the school and the whole Deadite sequence with her friend. When the show starts doing Deadite stuff, I'm still entertained. I'm still having a good time. It's still that Evil Dead brand that I enjoy. I'm the shirt right now. But man, when the plot gets going, even in this, I'm just you don't remember me? I'm your wife. Oh yeah. And I agree with what you said, Matt. If any character is going to be able to do it and pull it off, it would be Ash, but it's still just, it doesn't quite work for me. I wish it did, but I'm just
yeah.
I feel like even Ash would remember getting married. Even if he remembered it in the way of I'm going to put it in a box in my head and never think about it. As soon as she came up and said, I'm your wife, instead of not remembering it, I almost went I don't want to talk about it. Oh, that! And then just move on. Just completely ignore it. I think it would have been I honestly would have, I think it would have worked better for the character of Ash if this was the one character he remembered and was actively trying to forget.
Yeah.
Or if it was some sort of long lost love of some type. I feel like there needs to be some emotional grab besides, you're my progeny, so now this is important.
Had this had been an actual through line, if we'd had the same showrunner and everything, the plan had always been to bring in the wife and the daughter in season 3, because the whole plan is to get rid of Ash's seed. If this had actually been mapped out, they could have been laying the groundwork from the beginning of all I need in life is my candy bar. And having does he even have a candy bar? What is he talking about? And that could have been a running joke.
Yeah.
And you finally meet Cassandra Barr and he goes, candy bar! You would have had that awesome Ash moment. And we could have done this, but since it's very fly by the seat of your pants, you lose that opportunity, which is it's unfortunate.
He has that whole sequence of imagining a gaggle of his own kids that he doesn't know about. Yeah. Give me the season where it's a road trip for him to try to chase down all of his progeny and try to save them.
Yeah,
but
give him
failing each time.
Yep.
Wasn't there that wasn't a Vince Vaughn movie, Delivery Man or something like that, where the sperm donor who had 2,000 kids, he has to go meet him. Make that season 3 of Ash vs. Evil Dead. Give us the end of Deadpool and Wolverine with all the Wolverine clones, but make it all Ash's kids. That could have been hilarious. If you have a whole gaggle of kids, most of them missing limbs because they've all been idiots and cut them off in some ways. There was ways we could have done this.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
I mean, I like Joel's idea that he has to try and save them, and each time he fails as well. So he just they're just constantly just dying all the time. He's shit.
You could have had that Ash thank God I got 20 more.
Have him come back as ghosts, well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
This show, going back to Perpetual Stew. So have you guys heard that phrase before?
No.
Perpetual Stew. It's something I just learned thanks to the internet. Basically, the idea was a long time ago, they would have a stew and they wouldn't stop and make a new one. They would keep the current one heated and add stuff to the pot as it gets eaten. And there's this guy online that has a crock pot, and that's what he does. And this show is a perpetual stew where it's it's kind of the same stew, but
kind of like what they do with sourdough though. You have these sourdoughs that are hundreds of years old because they just they'll use a bit, but then they'll add to the mother dough, as they call it, and it grows out again.
Yeah. And the daughter is the latest, bits of beef that was tossed in a broth where there's a bunch of crappy old onions at the bottom of it.
Yep, that's a pretty good analogy. Gross.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, but it works.
I was cursed with this knowledge, so you need to be cursed with it now too.
I hate to do it. It's
Thanks, Joel.
Don't worry, Matt. Clearly, it's an American thing, so I think you're okay.
I'm exporting my appreciation to you, Matt. Duty free.
I mean, you say it's clearly an American thing. It might have been something that the Saxons did in the 5th century
fair.
or something.
No, you're not wrong. I'm trying to give you some relief.
Native.
But bear with me. 5th century I mentioned, so that's fine back then.
Also true.
Less so when we have modern food storage,
refrigeration.
Yeah.
All right, so back into the episode. So we have trying to catch up on the characters a little bit. Ash and Pablo are running their hardware store, and Kelly is out.
Taco truck, fish and chip.
Sorry, fish
thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I slipped full blown in Ash there, didn't I?
Racist.
That's on me. It was a fuck up. Anyhow, Kelly is out hanging with the Knights of Samaria.
My mind kept on doing Knights Templar.
I kind of did the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have been fine with Kelly not showing back up. As soon as she showed up to save the day, I'm like, I don't need you.
What's he had that line? Miss me, and immediately I was thinking, not really.
No, I didn't.
I didn't need Poochie either, to be honest.
No, I'm okay with Cootie. That was that one. Oh, you mean Poochie as in the knight, or as when you said Poochie, I immediately went to the mascot because I'm like, no, I was into the mascot.
The knight.
Yeah, the knight. No.
It means Poochie the knight.
Dude was so clearly wearing a red shirt. It's just okay, so when are you gonna die? We know you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
his shirt was real red by the time you died, to be fair.
Yeah, that's also true.
I mean, we'll talk about NetSuite. He has a pretty cool out, at least.
He does.
Yeah.
He didn't go out like a bitch.
Yeah. No, that's what I meant. Just plenty of people go out like bitches in this show. But that's one rare point where I wish if he was going to be around, make him a character that lasts for a while.
Yeah.
They toss him out too early. Make him if you're going to introduce him at the start of the season, make him enough of a character where the death feels meaningful. It doesn't it doesn't need to have emotional heft. Just make him an interesting fixture that when he dies off, it's like, oh man.
Well, let's get to that next week when he actually does have his death sequence. Because for the first couple episodes, I mean, he's just clearly there to be a foil in the relationship of Pablo and Kelly, which is
not really a relationship.
Is anyone still shipping that? I don't think so, but whatever.
I don't think.
Did anyone actually ship it in the first place though? Because they're just so mismatched as a couple.
Pablo did a little bit, but that's about it.
Pablo did because he was written to do that, and because it was attractive girl, love.
It sort of took a turn after Shotgun Bond, I think.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. No, that's true. But anyhow, so they're all doing their things. Evil gets read in some barn.
Antiques Roadshow bar edition or something.
I don't know. And then we
another stupid white person reading books with bad consequences.
And then getting punched to death by Ruby. I mean, I'm okay with that. Ruby shows up this all tracks. That's what I'm expecting to happen in the show at this point.
Did appreciate seeing his jaw literally fly off as well.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that's some good gore. I'm into it. But then we eventually get to the point where Candy Bar shows up, tells Ash that Evil's coming for their daughter, which I didn't quite track how that happened.
How she knows that?
She called her, I think.
Okay. But how did
the daughter did call her freaking out, but I don't know.
It's a bit of a leap though, especially in America. I didn't just immediately assume school shooter, to be fair.
I don't know where she got the evil part of it, but whatever. I mean,
right.
So now they go save the daughter, and that's where the episode for me finally really gets going. It does kind of feel like a horror movie again. You got the friend and the daughter. You got the evil mascot with the blood coming out of the eyes, and the mascot design is awesome, super fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way the blood sort of pools around them as well. And it's kind of it's circling them.
Yeah,
and that's that whole time I was like, turn around and jump. I got
that too. Just get out of there. And then as soon as they start running, of course they're gonna fall. And it's slip. And it's well, that's That's what the blood was for. But I really do, like that's a fun sequence. And then when we finally get to like Ash and Pablo showing up, is Kelly there yet? She comes.
No, she arrives at the very end.
Like after the music room fight sequence, right?
Yeah. After that, because she arrives with the Coogie.
That's right. That's Coogie, they got you too.
I love that line when Coogie, they got you too.
That music room action scene is probably some of the most fun I've had in an action scene in this show.
It's so Evil Dead as well. Like where like
the
Candy's
flying,
like head gets sort of like chopped off, and then we spin around, and she's just there on the harp, just like
I like the whole like what is it, trombone?
Whoa!
and
the drumsticks as well.
Yeah,
like
we did
the drumsticks. Like we're back into
we're
just back into that Three Stooges thing. Like the one up with the nose, one in the ear.
Yeah, like that's like
I like the way the Deadite went. Using like you had this facade of all the instruments, and then using the instrument to dispatch it was pretty good.
The harp kill was good. Like that was, it was gross, but it was good.
Yeah, practically speaking, would that work?
No,
not through a skull.
Okay.
I mean, you probably cut the face, but you won't get through the whole skull.
Like they might need. I would venture to say they need to go to the hospital, and they probably lost a fair bit of flesh on their face and could die from their wounds. But it's not gonna like slip into their face quite like that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I'm not a doctor. Maybe a doctor would be like, no, that's exactly what would go down.
Skulls are pretty hard.
I mean, yeah.
Depends on the movie.
This sounds like Matt's tried this before and it didn't work out.
Well, as we've established before, we don't talk about those things. We just kind of like dance around them on here. But yes, I have tried it before, and it didn't work.
Next time, make sure their face is at the base tone.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Because those are thicker wire, and it might hurt more.
But
I think you need thinner though. You need thinner to cut.
Like maybe it's too thick to go through the face.
But it's too weak. That's the problem. Unless you're gonna tie some barbed wire.
There you go.
In the harp.
Or just like pure fishing line. Like just lots of fishing line. Like
piano wire.
The harp doesn't need to sound good if it's only being used for murder.
I mean, you're murdering the music whilst you're murdering the person. So, it's a nice little double kill there.
Either way, just live stream it so we can see how it goes.
Okay, cool. Will do. I think I've got a harp around here somewhere.
Super Gratuitous Murders at twitch.com/Binge Buddies.
I mean, listen. I'm not going to make the joke. I'm like, hey, we're almost there. Running Man coming this year to A&E. All right, so episode 2, Ruby goes pop right in the beginning, and it's super gross. But I'm very, very into it. I was also like, did we bring Ruby back for her just to die right away? Like that seems kind of weird. And like, oh no, she's just walking around with her belly just exploded, and it's like, okay, no, I get this.
I would have been okay if Ruby died there.
Yeah, I was too. I was more annoyed that we bothered bringing her back in the first place. If this is what we were gonna do with her, I'm like, oh well, if she's sticking around, then okay. Like at this point, I'm really just kind of along for the ride. Like after seeing episode 1 and now kind of get through episode 2, I'm like, all right. So I'm just kind of like, just go where you're going, and I'll get to Evil Dead Rise at some point. Like I know that movie's coming out. I'm excited to watch it whenever we're done with this.
To be honest, though, like we are beating the shit out of this series a little bit now, but when I'm watching it, I am enjoying it. It's just more when you kind of like when you dig a little bit deeper into it, because there's enough in each episode where it's like I'm having fun.
This show, if you like our name, if you binge this show and do it 1, 2, 3 in a row, like I did, it's not that big of a deal. It is it's a straightforward story. You're along for the ride. You're gonna have highs, you're gonna have lows, but that's what happens with any TV shows when you have a certain number of episodes to fill. We talked that you could condense it, but it is what it is. I think if you were to sit there and watch the show straight through, you're in the world of Evil Dead. Do they have to downplay some things because it's TV? Yes, but it's still fun, like Matt said.
I think the tone of this episode or this recording is my fault.
No,
I feel like I've had some pent up aggression since season 2. That's just sort of all falling out.
I mean, to be fair, the way you were talking, I wouldn't have been surprised if you'd just taken your headphones off,
and
walked away.
Even our viewers on YouTube are like, "Where'd Joel go?"
I mean, this isn't Terminator Salvation, but
okay, I take issue with that. But
Or is it Hobbs and Shaw?
apparently, even Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's definitely not Hobbs and Shaw.
No, it's definitely not Hobbs and Shaw. But like even Arnold Schwarzenegger recently said like Terminator Salvation was dog shit. And I'm like, oh, there you go, Joel. Even Arnie agrees.
yeah, but did you see the reason why? Basically because he wasn't in it. Like, it's like, of course that's his reason. I didn't get paid for that one. It's shit.
But here, to the point that both Ryan and Matt were making, I agree for the most part. I disagree, Ryan, a little bit because I've tried to binge this show many times and I find myself just falling off of it. Like if I could sit there and watch the whole thing, I think it's too long-winded and they take too long to get to anything.
And I think you get that with season 2.
And if I try to break it up, then I lose interest. So like I don't think there's a great way to watch this. And I think this is where I'm getting to the point of like, I agree with what Matt's saying. When the episodes are on, I'm having a great time. It's a lot of fun. Like even in this episode, we get to that Take On Me jizz fight. And like, damn it, it's so ridiculous. You have like the woman who's like reaching out of the magazine while still covering her boob to be like, I'm going to get you. And it's like,
I love the magazine thing. Just where it's like crawling with the hand coming out, just crawling across the floor through the jizz as well. It's like, this is so fucking funny.
It is ridiculous. It's over the top. It's things that I love in horror movies. I think the problem is like, even to go back to our last series of Nightmare on Elm Street, it's that we've watched so much on this series that is this like horror genre or like these ridiculous genres that have defied expectations, that have gone like, oh no, this is what horror fans like because the writing actually is good and you're wrong for not watching it. And you, what are you doing? Like this stuff's amazing. And this is the stuff that like, non-horror fans like, well, I don't like it because like it just took too long to get there. It's just mindless violence, and it's like sometimes they're right, and like I can still enjoy it and have a great time with it, but I can't be like, well, you need to watch Ash vs. Evil Dead because the story is so good. Like I've got nothing to go on beyond I have fun because I like horror.
This is also it's a funny and crazy and gross scene, but it also is the kind of scene we've seen several times before in the show by now, whether it's the dead guy on top of him,
which I like better, like the dick in the face scene. I like that's
the comedy is a lot more there, and it's almost like the people behind this just thought we can keep doing this as long as we power scale things, so things just get more and more over the top, and at some point, it's just like I've seen this trick before. I'm sorry.
To be fair, like watching that sequence, I did have kind of like flashbacks a little bit to the dick in the face with like, you know, him going, oh, I'm in the butt. And it's kind of like, you know, they're just choosing a different bodily fluid as in this one. But at the same time of that, this one did have the hand out of the magazine, which is something new.
So good.
Which is like, and then like, you know, he thinks that he's defeated the doctor, like smashed the head, and then it's like sorted. But then the magazine's like literally below him, and then grabs his balls again. It's like, oh no, we're still going.
the episode would have been worse off without it, for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Even like this is them firing at all cylinders. Like when he pulls out the magazine, you start hearing that, and you're like, I know exactly where this is going. It's like I'm so okay with it. And like if you weren't a kid from like the 80s, 90s and you'd seen the Take On Me music video, so you know where it was going, like it might have caught you off guard. But as soon as like that thing happens, like, oh, I am so ready for where this is going. And it was fun and I loved it. It was great. But like I was saying a minute ago, if you weren't a fan of Evil Dead and horror, would I be telling you to watch this? Probably not. Like if you're not into like I don't know how to describe The Good Place, but like everyone should watch The Good Place. Like there's something in that show for everyone, not because it's like a 4-quadrant safe show, because it's a great show. Ash vs. Evil Dead, you got to be into horror, you got to be into body horror, you got to really be into Evil Dead to be watching it at this point.
But like that's a little bit of an unfair comparison because Ash vs. Evil Dead is literally a sequel to that film series.
No,
so of course you have to be into it.
I mean more for like why we're so hard on it, because these are the things that we're coming to it with recently in our head. If that makes sense.
True. Yeah, like in terms of like story structure, like how everything unfolds. Yeah, comparing it to something like The Good Place.
We have done comparisons to Peacemaker a few times with this show. And in some ways, they fall under a similar kind of format in terms of like character, and the problem is that, and I don't know that they could accomplish it with this, but Peacemaker grows over that show. Maybe by inches, but he grows slowly over time and gains some thoughtfulness. Ash is moving at millimeters when it comes to growth, and that made sense. That made sense for his character. He can't change. That's part of who he is. He's an old man, and that's who he is. But that also flattens things, and it also goes back to we should have had this be one long season or a mini series of almost movie like Stranger Things. Have it be a season full of 45 to 50 minute, maybe an hour and a half episodes. It's a formatting issue.
Makes sense.
But like, so in this episode, we get like where Pablo's journey is going throughout this thing, and I'm interested to a degree, but it also just kind of feels like, oh yeah, the Brujo thing. Let's bring that back. We're gonna bring back a topless lady with the world's most pierced nipples.
I've seen more pierced.
I mean, so have I. It's just on TV. I was like, wow, those are some piercings.
I hope nobody pulls on them.
Yeah.
Unless
some people are into that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true, but like, she is not someone who should wear a mesh shirt, is all I'm saying. It won't feel good.
Or it'll feel really good and be really uncomfortable.
In which case, mesh away. But like, I like the idea, like, we're kind of going back with Pablo, like, because I've had the problem with Pablo's character in the beginning because he's just kind of like the right hand, like, you can do it, Ash. And then he kind of just turned into a tool for whatever the episode needed him to be. He's going to be the book. He's going to be the this. He's going to be the bad guy. And we're just going to kind of whatever we
need. Pablo.
It's punching bag. Like that. Yeah. That's what he is.
And we're still doing that a lot. Like by the end of next week, he's a Deadite again, and it's like, okay, here we go again. But I like that they're trying to give him something. Like he's got to figure out, like he's got to embrace his ancestry, which we've kind of forgotten about over last season. Yeah. Like that's fine. Like, okay, so we're bringing it back. That's good. I want them to do something with it because right now they really have. I know we're only 2 episodes in, so like I'm giving them time for this one.
They will.
That one I was willing to give them a chance on because I want Pablo with some agency. I'm a little tired of Jessica
Kelly.
Some girl's name. I'm a little tired of Kelly being basically the only non-Ash character to really flex some muscles. And I think she is better in these episodes than she has been in terms of character. But I want Pablo to have some wins here that aren't reliant on people saving him.
Yeah.
That's all.
And I don't know if they're going to be able to fix that, but we'll see. Because they by making him like the Brujo again, it's like, oh, we could be going that route.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Ryan, you seem like you're struggling down there.
I'm not. It does. Like you're gonna. He has his comeuppance, and you're gonna see some things shift.
Okay.
Because even watching that trailer, because I have not gone ahead than what before, but watching that trailer, I'm like, okay, I'm remembering some things.
Mm-hmm. And you've only watched this season once, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. And like watching the trailer, like going back to that, like it does have me more excited for the rest of it. Like I like the big monster looking thing. Like that's cool. Like that's, I guess Ash gets the dagger at some point because we can't let that hero prop go away. And there goes Matt. There he goes. Oh, he's back.
Here comes Matt.
He must have just touched the camera button. That must have been what happened.
No, my internet just started fucking up for like no reason.
Yeah, he just disappeared. You turned into like a white circle.
Fucking thing.
So we've talked a lot about the Jizz fight. We've talked a lot about. We haven't talked too much about
why the Jizz fight.
Yeah, why the Jizz fight, and why? Like, I mean,
no, I think the question's still open. Why? I get the thin thread of we need to destroy his seed. I don't think they describe why very well.
I mean, I get the whole like, if Ash isn't the chosen one, anyone in his legacy could be the chosen one. So we need to get rid of all Ash. I'm like, okay, I guess.
But I have to connect the dots and fill in the blanks for that.
Yeah, like Ruben's explanation is there. It's just weak. Like,
It's weak writing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But that goes back to what I said. I needed to fill in the little bit of detail in to make it really work. And if I'm having to be like, okay, she said this, but here's the logic behind it.
Joel, when you watch mystery movies, do you just sit there and not try to figure it out?
I like to be on the ride. And see where it goes. And then I'll just decide if I enjoy the ride. Is that not how you consume movies?
No! I go to a mystery movie or some type of guess who the serial killer is to try to figure it out so I have that clout.
Yeah, but I know I'm going to be wrong, so why bother?
That's part of the ride, trying to figure things out with the movie. That's the experience.
You're not always wrong. Like I remember when I was a kid, I'm like, it was Stu. It's Stu. I know it's Stu. And like, oh, look, Stu died. I'm like, it's still Stu. It's Stu.
And now that Stu's coming back, you're like, how could it be Stu?
It's still Stu.
What you're learning here, Ryan, is that I'm a very uncurious person.
That's fine. That's okay.
I mean, like, to be fair, I'm kind of with Ryan. I used to like love watching Columbo, trying to figure out who the killer was.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like a genius whenever I figured out Encyclopedia Brown before the end of the chapter, but that was me.
I mean, that's a joke that I don't think anyone got. Columbo opens, you know who the fucking killer is.
I never watched Columbo.
No.
It's all about how they did it, right, Matt?
We were a Murder, She Wrote family.
We were an ER family. Like, we didn't care about who did the murder. We just wanted to see.
I was that long, but things about Joel are starting to become even more clear.
Watch Murder, She Wrote and played Canasta.
Hell yeah.
Books of murder.
All right. We're kind of at the end of this.
The daughter's still there.
She's still there.
Daughtery.
I like Brandy.
I don't.
I'm okay. She's fine as a character. She doesn't fit.
She doesn't fit. I don't like her. Like
she doesn't. Okay. This is what I'll say to agree with you guys. I think as someone who is thrown in to be a plot device and driving the story, yes, it's very. You'll never know the difference. But if you suspend disbelief, again, we're doing more work for the writers. But if you sit here and realize Ash's character, would you really want someone like that to be your father? So maybe the mother is protecting her.
Well, that's not my issue. But like, here's the little bit of bone I'll throw. I think she's well acted.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I think
the actress does a really good job.
She's doing well. I don't think the show knows what to do with her other than to be kind of damsel in distressy and be an outsider.
But the trailer, she's wielding the gun and killing Deadites, so we'll see the character arc.
I didn't watch the trailer, so
it just played.
I was talking about Perpetual Stew.
He really was. And for someone who doesn't want to try to figure things out, this is all falling into place for Joel.
This clicks too much. But yes, like I know she will. Like you don't have somebody be Ash's daughter and not have her turn a little bit into Ash. Like there's just no way they don't go that route.
Well,
and
especially
I guarantee
with the prophecy. Like if you're killing all the seeds because you're worried they're going to be like Ash, she will have that moment.
Yeah, and we know that's coming. I think it's like you could have started at the 50-yard line, or you could start her at the 0 or the 100 on the other direction, or you can start in the fucking parking lot. And like that's where they took her too far into reality, so that when she gets to that arc, I know it's going to be a huge leap, and I can see that coming. And it's like I would have liked to see her have a little bit more Ash in her DNA from the jump, because right now she feels totally unrelated to the show, to the point of like, why is she in this show? Like she's doing a fine job, but like she doesn't fit.
She needs to have some sort of mean streak.
Yeah, she needed something that's Ash. Just something that brings us there.
She should be the one with the multicolored hair.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Can we take a moment, since we're talking about hair, to talk about Lucy Lawless's wig?
No.
Only a moment. It's fucking terrible.
Every wig she's wearing, in whether it's up or the shoulder length, I just want to go to the costume and hairstylist and be like, keep the makeup person. Like the blood's great. This person needs to get fired.
Like
it doesn't read well on screen.
Like here's the thing. So I honestly did not know this very well until I listened. Do you guys ever listen to the It's Always Sunny podcast?
No.
It was good when it was on, and they just kind of fell off. But they talk a lot about making stuff very openly in ways that, like, I've worked on many sets. I work in the industry. Like, I've seen this stuff firsthand many times. I didn't know this. Pretty much, if there is a woman on screen, she's wearing a wig. Almost 100% of the time, because the amount of product and stuff you have to do to your hair to look camera ready, all women will be bald. Any women actor would be bald at some point because they'd fry their hair. So if they're on screen, even if it's going to be their exact same hair, they're likely wearing a wig. So I'm like, okay, so there are people out there who can make amazing wigs that I didn't know they were even wearing wigs. And then we get this, and it's like,
Party City.
Uh-oh. Like, because it made me like feel much better about like, oh wow, there's things in film and TV that can still surprise me being on this side of the industry where I'm at. Like, that's cool. What the fuck's happening here?
I think when it comes to some of the brutality and violence, you can get away with some of the cheapness if you just drench it in more blood.
Sure.
You can't fix that.
No. It's like when you watch like I never even watched the whole show, but I watched the first episode or two, the not Game of Thrones, the one that came after with the doctor in it.
Doctor Who?
Yeah, that doctor. He's something dragon. House of Dragon? Is that
House
it?
of Dragon?
How to Train Your
Not a doctor.
The doctor is absolutely in that show. Matt Smith.
House
He's
of
the
Dragon.
doctor. Not How to Train Your Dragon. Doesn't matter.
House-
The HBO show about Game of Thrones. The wigs were
House
shit. That's all
of
I'm
the
saying.
Dragon.
Quotes.
Jesus Christ, I'm a throny. House of the
What?
Dragon.
Is that like a brony?
Right. The person who likes Game of Thrones.
I mean, I loved the first few seasons. 4 or
I've
5.
read all the books. I've seen all the show.
I've read all the books too. Man, that show sucked at the end though.
It did.
The one episode I watched was fine.
I've thought about doing Game of Thrones for this, but I'm like, I just think it's too much.
That would take a lot.
I don't like it.
That would be a long time.
I didn't like. I watched.
Maybe
the first
when we're-
episode, like the writing. This is just very juvenile. It's
Maybe
like,
when
hey,
we-
it's Lord of the
maybe
Rings,
when
but
we-
let's put some boobs in.
Oh, yeah,
And that's how
that doesn't get better.
Martin writes.
Yeah, that doesn't get better for a while. It does get better, but
Yeah.
Whew.
Maybe when we're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Maybe.
Season 89. Game of
Well,
Thrones.
the whole intro for our Binge Buddies thing will just be the Andy Samberg sketch of like, and I get hired to put some boobs in it. Like, we'll just have that kid. We have one guy who's getting his knob worked out, and another guy peeping on him, and another guy peeping on him, and it's like, yeah, that's a real scene in that show.
Yeah.
Someone wrote it, someone shot it, someone delivered it to HBO, and they went, "Good job." Like,
No, we've got to use the theme song of like from South Park.
oh, wieners,
Pete-
floppy wieners, that one?
Wieners, floppy wieners,
I've watched the
wiener,
Like-
floppy wiener.
I've watched the entirety of the show twice. There's not that many floppy wieners in it. Like, calm down, Butters. Calm down.
But
He's
is there any
focusing
hard
on
ones?
what's important to him.
Yeah, there's like zero hard wieners. But there's
Exactly.
no hard wieners.
That's
in
the
anything.
point.
People are afraid of hard wieners. It's how we all got here, folks.
I'm sure someone was impregnated with a floppy one at some point. Just like thumbing a softie.
Quotes. Let's move into quotes. Fuck's sake.
It's just, look, it's important if you're making a show, it needs to be tasteful wieners. That came out differently than I expected it to.
I mean, at least it's a tasty.
That is
Because that would have been like even
true.
different, even
This is
more
Joel's
different.
episode. Joel is running this episode.
I am so mad.
It was a good
Let's go
tasty
quotes.
wiener.
No, let's go.
Well, I didn't write it down a thing, so I'm on the script page, and I'm going to scroll down and just pick one. So here. Yeah, old Candy was hell of a gal back in the day. She had a real can-do attitude. You said you barely remembered her. Well, she just caught me by surprise is all. Hey, cute story. On our wedding night, we were going at it in the back seat when all that Kentucky glory started to catch up on her. But after she kicked up on the front dash, and I mean all over the front dash, she was ready for round 2.
So that was
from episode 1 or-
episode 2.
That was episode 2.
That was episode 2.
1 first.
Okay, that's fine. I'll go back to 1 after you guys had your.
Fair enough. Ryan, what's your quote from episode 1?
When they're in the car and he goes, "Wait a minute, Candace Bar? Oh no, Candy Bar? Well, this daughter of ours, I bet she thinks I'm pretty special, huh? Dream on. I told her old man was some crack dealer who got shanked in prison. What? Well, it's easier than admitting I hooked up with a psycho sawboy. Oh, okay, I call BS. I was using my lucky rubber of all through the odds, and that sucker went 50-0.
That
Sure.
I just.
Can I just say as well, Psycho Sawboy, Brian's new nickname?
Oh, I'm into that. All right, so my quote, although I'll
take Psycho.
I'll change it for the next one. This will no longer say Chainsaw Enthusiast, Psycho Sawboy. Anyhow, my quote was, it's when Candy Bar shows up and she's trying to convince him that she knows him, and it's like that's great. And then she just keeps throwing out things that he said, and then she gets to the good sex is 30 seconds in it, followed by a cheeseburger, and he just stops and goes, "Okay, so maybe we have met."
That was on the short list.
That was a good one. All right, Matt, you get 2.
Like, what about my episode 1?
You episode
get
1.
two.
You get two.
Oh, sorry, I
Snake
get
draft.
2. Sorry.
I'm
Confusing.
frustrated this episode.
It's Joel's fault.
It is. It really is.
You know me as Ash Williams, the hero who saved Elk Grove from evil. For 30 long years, I've used this sword on monsters and demons. But those battles are won. And now I use it to slash prices! At Ashy Slash's home hardware store in Portland, we got you covered. You want paint? We shake it till we break it. Ladies, you love his nuts. Wait, no, that's out of order. Hang on.
You could have
Great
just
job.
trying to say ladies love his nuts.
What's better than a handful of my nuts? A long screw. Whoa, we got wood, we got rope, we got rubber, we got it all. Die hard, die high prices. Goodbye, high prices. For that special someone, we've got everything from D to Ildo. Because at Ashy Slash's, service is literally not our middle name. Whoa!
I mean, I would shop at that store. There's no way I don't shop at that store.
Yeah,
It's got everything you need.
All right, Matt, you're up.
Mr. Williams, how's your father? He's still dead. Too bad. He was a good man. Produced a lovely semen. High sperm count. Is that a fact? Unfortunately, we couldn't use it. Syphilis.
I loved it.
That was so good.
Just to produce a good semen.
Yep.
Very Naja of them.
Yeah.
My quote, I had a few written down. I don't really like any of them though. All right, I'll go with the one that made me laugh the most. So mine is at the end of the fight sequence in the jizz room, if you will. And it's after he's killed the doctor and he thinks he's done. Then here's the magazine and goes, "I'm not finished yet." And he goes, "Baby, that's what they all say."
Yep.
Yep.
All right, Ryan, you're up.
I knew Matt would probably take that one if I had to have a spare because that one was so good. But they're in they're getting ready for breakfast and he walks in. Evil's back. Don't take the knee, whatever. And so he goes, "Let's talk about something important." And Hefe goes, "Time to tear Evil a new one, Hefe?" "No, it's this whole dad thing. Here I am kicking Evil in the nards, and what do I get out of it? A daughter that treats me like a dryer lint. How was I supposed to know that all that crazy sex would lead to a kid?" Yeah, funny how that works out.
Yeah, that feels very Ash. All right, Joel, your episode 1 quote.
Let's see. Let me do my little scrolling roulette here. What is your problem, fuck boy?
Good quote. I have no idea what the context was of it, which shows how good this show is, right?
I think it was Rachel in the high school.
Talking to
Oh,
the
yeah.
mascot.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's great though is that these next couple episodes, like it's almost line-orama. There's some really good stuff in 3, and more importantly 4. I think 4 is chock full of them.
4 definitely has better quotes in it.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So that's it. We have started season 3. We are still a little sour on Ash vs. Evil Dead, but we're still having a good time, right? Except for Joel.
Joel's never having a good time with this series.
We're gonna have Joel's face.
That's not true.
Joel liked Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness and most of season 1.
I think I recall saying something to the effect starting out that this was the best Evil Dead thing I've seen so far.
Yeah.
So
okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Joel just judges harshly, and God help you if you're the first movie or anything after season 1. But
this is making me look more kindly on the first 2 movies. They're still not great.
When did the second movie start getting crapped on? I thought you liked the second one.
I liked it better than the first one.
It's the same movie.
That's the problem. It's
not the same movie. That's such a dumb argument. It's not the same movie.